Hey everybody, greetings and welcome back. This is Vorm, and we're going to check out a game called HumanitZ. If you're watching here on my Twitch channel, you see me play a little bit of the game over the last few days, and I've got a little better idea of how it works and the systems and so on. But I wanted to do a fresh start with an eye towards more of the base building and crafting infrastructure stuff. As well as provide a more descriptive and coherent, knowledgeable explanation of things for my YouTube viewers. The earlier stuff was a lot of me faffing about, learning stuff and figuring stuff out. So now that I've got some idea what's going on, we're going to play a little more, start from scratch so the YouTube folks can see what the early game looks like, and I can explain things. So again, if you're on my Twitch side and you've seen this stuff, I'm going to be explaining a lot of stuff over again, but it'll be the first time my YouTube viewers will have seen it. So with that in mind, here we are, HumanitZ. It's a zombie survival, open world, isometric co-op crafting game. Probably most commonly compared to Project Zomboid, which is fair given the perspective that the game is offered in, as well as the content type. But definitely some differences, and we're going to explore those a bit. Yeah, let's jump in. So we'll go single player, and I don't care what I look like, really. So it's still got my old game. Let's get rid of that. Goodbye, old game. We're going to stay unemployed. We do have options to pick basically a bonus. So each of these choices for profession gives you some kind of bonus. 50% more fuel when using fuel cans, more effective medical items, etc. We're going to pick no bonus. Unemployed, that is us. We have no skills. And I'm not going to worry about customizing the character, but you can. You can go in and pick different character build types. It's pretty standard stuff in regards to that, and creating a character how you want it. We're going to go new game. We'll call it new game 3. And we're going to skip the tutorial. I can explain the basics. So we're going to say no. And then we have a world generation options list. A lot of this stuff will be familiar to you if you're at all familiar with 7 Days to Die, Project Zomboid, or other games of this type. So I'm always a fan of player agency and the ability to play the game the way you find it is fun and engaging. We're going to leave default everything for now. I have not played enough to really make educated decisions here or come to decisions about whether I want things to be more or less in these different categories. So I'm okay with what we've got. And we'll hit apply. Harvest deer. I got to catch one of those guys first. It's kind of hard to catch those folks. They take off pretty quick. Kind of need a sniper rifle, so you might have a chance of hitting them outside their detection range before they scurry on off. Actually, did I change? Uh-oh, edit stream info. Oh, okay, I did. And to make sure I had all the stream info correct. Alright, here we go. So we also get to select a spawn point. So the game uses a static map. So similar again to Project Zomboid. It's a map. There are different starting points or positions that have a different variety of items and things in the nearby area. The particular spawn point here to start with has these things: improvised backpacks for carrying stuff, hammer and axe, craftable containers, improvised bow and arrows, etc. Now, a lot of this stuff you're going to be able to find randomly in the world anyway, so so far with what I've seen of the world and my knowledge of the game, I don't know that this makes a whole bunch of difference. But we have an inland spawn, nice location to test your survival, some lootable containers, it's a large neighborhood close by. That actually sounds pretty good. Zombies all around. Yeah, I might actually try that one. I've only seen the very first start so far. I have no idea where these other starts are. Coast Road spawn, tough place to spawn. Zeke's not far. A West Road, limited items, lots of Zeke's. And back to the starter spawn. Let's do the starter spawn. I know the area a bit and where to go to get a few things, and it's where I'm comfortable currently. Should we continue playing extensively, we'll pick some of the other spawns, but this will be the one most new players will be picking, so we'll go ahead and select that. And here we are. We jump right in. So again, isometric perspective. We do have the option in this game, though, to pan the camera around. We cannot change the angle of the view, so I can't kind of pivot up down, but you can change With Q and E on the keyboard, you can change your viewpoint. Otherwise, you use your mouse to move the cursor around, and your character always faces wherever your cursor is. I've changed the cursor, the little red dot, I've changed it to the color red for reasons. It's white by default, but when it snows, which it commonly does in this start, I lose the dot. I can't see it on the snowy background, so I switched it to red, so I don't think we'll have any red weather events. Hopefully not. But here we are. So we do have a map. We are in this bottom right-hand corner. This is the entire map. It won't scroll in any direction. And we have a goal to go to the radio tower right up here and get it repaired. We're not going to worry about that for a while. We're just going to do stuff around the starting area, and we'll get there eventually. Toggle grid? Oh, okay. I don't know if they ever refer to the grid positions like A1 or B4 or anything like that, but, you know, whatever. And we can see via the map, we can zoom. We can see that we've got a few buildings nearby. So we've got a building, a garage, kind of a mobile home, and another garage. And then up the road a bit, we've got, I think, a farmhouse and a garage. I haven't actually been down this way. I don't have any idea what's out this way. I've always gone north from here. Okay. So like I said, my focus in this run is to kind of give my YouTube viewers something to watch regarding HumanitZ and get some opinions from me about what's in it and not in it and what's working and not working. But as well, I haven't really focused on getting the base building stuff going. So we have, with the tab key, a quick crafting menu. These are simple items I can put together just right here with whatever's in my pockets. And then we have a general crafting menu that we need tools and materials for to put up workstations. And then the workstations do various things. So we're going to focus on this stuff and some of the base building aspects in this run. I haven't done that previously. Earlier my runs, all I did was set up really a workbench and not much else. So I want to see how quickly we can get this kind of stuff set up, how interesting the process is, and so on. Now, I'll say up front, I'm not a big fan of the inventory system. I will admit that freely and openly, right at the top. Not a big fan, for two reasons. One, it's one of those stingy inventory systems with a game that has tons and tons of items, and they want you to collect it all because, hey, it's a zombie survival apocalypse. You want all the stuff to help you survive. But they give you tiny little capacity backpacks with limited number of slots, and they make the items only stack to very small numbers, like 2 pieces, and then you have to have another one of your precious slots for another 2 pieces, etc. But you need just dozens or hundreds of the pieces of the things, and I'm never a fan of that, to that extreme anyway. And you're going to see me grumble about it when we play. So, you know, prepare for it. The other issue is just, it's built with both a hybrid console and keyboard mouse interface. I hate those. I've always hated those. I complain about them every game I see them in. I'm not a fan of it. I just can't stand it. So, you know, bear with me when you hear me grumble about the interface and the consoleization of the interface and yeah, you'll know what I mean. So there you go. All right, let's do some initial investigating. So we don't have to worry about zombies initially. Lots of stuff in the game world. Most of the loot is randomized. There are loot tables for the various things you might open or the places you might go, and certain things can appear in certain loot table locations. So we've got food and some cigarettes and some barbed wire. I'm not going to worry about that. We're going to ditch this letter in my inventory because, all right, I'll read it. Or I'll show it. I'm not going to read the whole thing. For the YouTube folks, if you're interested in reading it, feel free, and I'll just slowly scroll through it, and you can pause every once in a while to read. It's the basic, hey, you know, apocalypse, bad things, loot stuff, grab stuff, and then it mentions that the radio tower needs to be investigated and fixed, and that you need vehicles and all that. All right, Bob Hardy, thank you very much for your note. Now we are going to drop you. Alright, so we're just going to check real quick what resources we've got. We got a motorcycle, or biker jacket. That's got some armor, so let's go ahead and grab that. That's a small, simple backpack. We'll go ahead and do that. Then we've got the hammer and the axe. The one thing about the interface, yeah, we'll take the machete. You have to be facing and near the object you want to loot. We don't need that right now. So, for example, this axe. If I'm facing it and I'm close enough, I get the little name, and pressing the F key will interact with it and let me pick it up. But if I turn away, I don't see it, and I can't interact. So you have to be both proximity and facing in order to do that. And then another vagary of the systems they've got is that you are limited to 2 large holdable items. This is things like rifles and long axes and sledgehammers and things like that. You can't put them in a backpack. You can't put them in your pockets. So you're going to find yourself constantly trying to manage these 2 slots and all of the items you're going to find. Like that stick with nails is going to go into one of these 2 slots, just like any kind of bat or long weapon is going to. So nail, wood, weapon. So that automatically got assigned into one of the 2 available slots. And the problem is you're going to fill these up very quickly. You're going to be out looting. You're going to find something you want. You're going to have your slots full, and you literally cannot take it with you. You just flat can't without dropping something you've already got, or bringing a vehicle out or something. So be prepared for that. Smaller items, you'll get better backpacks with more slots, more storage capacity, and you'll be able to pick stuff up and maneuver things without too much difficulty. But you're constantly going to be struggling with sections 1 and 2 here. And if you highlight the item, it mentions crafted wood weapon won't last long, slot 1/2. So it has to go in one of these 2 slots. And that's it. And containers are similarly limited. So a container like the locker here has 3 slots big enough for these 1 and 2 slot weapons and items. And that's the limitation. So even, I believe, weapon storage boxes only have 5 spaces, which I think is also ridiculous. And really needs to be relaxed a bit. Give us more spaces for that specifically, at least. I can understand some of the limitations on it. I just never have had much fun with really restrictive inventory systems. I don't consider inventory Tetris to be a gameplay mechanic that is entertaining in the slightest. I want the player to have to make decisions and to have consequences and such, but my feeling is this game takes it a bit too far, and there needs to be some adjustments there. All right, I'm going to leave the hammer. That's for crafting things. We're not going to get into that yet. We're mostly going to be on the lookout for nails, because what I need to get is I need to get the workbench up, and we need 10 nails for the workbench. We can't make more nails without a workbench, so I have to go find the first 10 nails. Once we have those, then I can make a workbench, which will give us the access to crafting more nails afterwards. But we absolutely have to go out and find 10 nails to get anything started in this regard, really. So let's go ahead and take some peas and some cola. Oh, an even better hammer. So that's good. We don't have to use the improvise. We'll have a real hammer. We'll be a real boy. We do want these matches that are typically hard to get to if you don't know the facing. The tarp there is to make a rain catcher so we can get some water. Let's hop on over to the house. I need to keep moving while I talk because we do have daytime, nighttime. We have my hunger and thirst depleting, things like that. So I want to get certain things done. All right, don't care. One thing the game definitely is going to be in need of, sooner rather than later, is some variety in the interiors of houses. They've only got a couple of styles. School bag. We're going to take the school bag. It's a better solution. So let's bring our inventory up. We'll drop the improvised. Then we'll take that and use it. And then we will loot. Oh, we had nothing in our backpack yet. All right, that's fine. Or nothing in the improvised backpack. So this one's got 10 slots as opposed to 5 slots for the improvised. So we swapped over. All right. Yeah, so you're going to see the same house layout over and over and over and over again. And it's just walk inside, loot a little bit of items from the rooms and the cabinets, and then leave. So they definitely need some more variety in that regard. We'll take some toilet water pre-bottled and some painkillers. I'll be swinging the camera around quite a bit. I'll try to keep things in focus. Mostly, but occasionally I won't care what direction I'm facing, and we'll just kind of slide through rooms. Gun parts. That's important, but I'm going to leave them on the shelf for now. And more soda. Alright, so we have a fireplace here. We can use it, and it's important to do that for heat if it gets too cold, as well as to cook items or boil water. We don't need that right now. You can also make a campfire, but it takes some raw material parts. There is a vehicle system in the game, and things to know about vehicles. You can open the rear of the vehicle to see if there's anything stored in it, and to put stuff in it if you'd like. Then to the side here, driver's side, you've got the gas. So you can see there's a little bit of gas in the tank. There is the let's get in the vehicle and drive it position. And then this will show you the components and the main condition and fuel status as well. So we're missing 3 components to get this vehicle up and running. It's got a starter, but we need a battery, a fuel pump, and a fan belt. In my experience, the fan belt and the battery seem to show up more often, but the fuel pump and the starter are a little tougher to get a hold of. So we'll see what we have luck with. This was my boogaboo last time we played. I just could not find one of these. Went traveling and traveling and traveling and traveling and finally located one. But you got to have all 4 before you'll be able to drive the vehicle. There are vehicle repair kits to repair the general condition, and you have to siphon fuel or find fuel cans to fill up the fuel. You can run over zombies and ram into things, but it'll basically ruin your condition until it goes to 0 and you can't drive it anymore. So you got to be very careful with your vehicles if you're planning on using them for transport instead of zombie murdering. Alright, so we can't do anything with that quite yet. It's raining and we have the cold symbol now. So right here, temperature, we are personally cold due to the water. We've got health, we've got food, we've got hydration, and we've got endurance. We're now kind of breathing heavy and teeth chattering to indicate the cold status. We got one more building and a garage to investigate over there. I'm going to toss some stuff in the back of the van here that has pretty good storage. We'll get rid of you and you guys. Actually, let's go ahead and let's consume a few things. We're already down to 91 food, 72 hydration, and then we'll get moving. Peanut butter's pretty good. Let's have some soda. 97, 91, that'll do. We'll go find stuff for the rest of it. Alright, Epic Game Store. Thanks for all the pop-ups. Get out of my screen. Alright. Dog food. We'll leave the dog food. We'll take some pork and beans and a soda. And we're going to move that up to my pockets. Move that over. And move the 9mm ammo over. Alright, so we got a few matches, some painkillers, a thing of food, and hydration. The only way, you can't directly move any items. This is what I mean by consoleization of inventory and such. So I can hit a sort button here to sort, but all it does is remove the blank spaces so they all get pushed together. But I can't pick something up and drag it to a new position or anything like that. Everything's done through right click, left click, bumper buttons, and so on. So yeah. Okay. So we're going to leave all this alone, and if we don't find any nails in the house or the garage over here, which isn't likely, we're going to have to go traveling, which is pretty much what I expected. Well, there's a pistol, 9mm pistol, and we've got ammo, so I guess we'll go ahead and take that. Then it auto-filled into slot 3. We'll take an energy drink and cable just to relocate it over to our other storage, and that's all there is in there. I can't actually enter that. It's just a lootable container, essentially. Most buildings only have 1 or maybe 2 at the most entrances. And there's a difference in vehicles. There's actually 3 categories of vehicles that you'll see. One is like the car we looked at that is drivable if we get parts. A second type is a lootable one, like the van where I'm storing stuff. You can never drive it or fix it up, but it has a loot option in the rear for the trunk or the boot that you can store stuff in. And then the third class is total wrecks, which is what this kind of vehicle is. There's no loot option. No options anywhere. This you can break down with a blunt object like a sledgehammer or a pipe or pretty much anything you want. Just smash away at it and it'll eventually destroy down into sheet metal and scrap metal parts. And I've gotten on one occasion a component for the vehicle to run properly, like the air filter. But these are the only ones you can destroy. Don't bother smashing the other 2 categories, the lootable ones or the drivable ones. So just realize there's 3 different vehicle types. Let's go ahead and check in here. We've got another hammer. And come on, nails. No nails. What else we got? We got an arrow. And a standard bow. Wood bow and some arrows. And an improvised backpack. We've already got better than that. Alright, we'll leave all this alone. It's just repeating stuff we've got and stuff I don't need right now. Rocks you'll just find on the ground. Usually near houses and yards and such I find more than I find just going out on the map a random direction. This tends to be mostly empty stuff. I don't know how filled in it is. I haven't done extensive traveling off the roads, but initially I just stay on the roads, and that's what most players are probably going to do. There will be locked doors, and you start the game with 1 skill point, and the one to notice is this lockpick. You got to take this in order to even get access to the lockpick minigame. Then you actually have to have physical lockpicks in your inventory, and it pops up the standard Bethesda lockpick minigame that most players have seen if you've been computer gaming or console gaming for any length of time. It'll be pretty apparent how it works, and you may see it here in a little bit. I'm not going to bother doing it until we actually hit a locked door, and I get forced to interact with it. Nothing. Clothing. I'm fine with our black boots. I don't know that footwear makes any difference whatsoever. And there's another school bag. That's what we're using now, right? Yeah, we're already using a gray one. If I wanted green, we could switch to green, but I'm not going to worry about that. That's it. Alright, so no nails. That's mainly what we learned. So we can sprint, and it does drain stamina when you do so. Stamina actually takes quite a bit to recover, so be cautious with sprinting and fighting and jumping and climbing over things, because you can drain out your stamina pretty quickly and easily. Okay, let's drop off a few more items I don't think I'll need, and we're going to get moving. I think that's the basics of most of the interface, so these are also the hotkeys you use to access them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 for your hand slot. I don't actually need this improvised axe either. Let's leave this here as well. I want as many slots available as I can so that I can bring back more stuff. So we'll leave everything I don't plan on immediately using. I would like my pork and beans back. And let's take some peanut butter too. 77 already, huh? Alright, have another one of those. So, death. Let's talk about death real quick so people know how that works. When you die, at least in the standard mode without having changed any options in the world building, what happens is you keep your holdables and your pockets, but you drop your backpack in place. So your backpack hits the ground, and you respawn either back at your starting position if you haven't put down a respawn flag, essentially. There is an item here. Spawn point right there. Allows you to set a respawn point. I think that's supposed to say also disables zombie spawning nearby. I haven't tested it yet. I built one last time, but I don't remember if I died after I had built it. But just realize you have that option. So otherwise, I'm going to respawn right here if I don't build and select one of those. And I don't really want to respawn here. I want to move north and set up a base somewhere further north instead of here. So another option is for me just to take everything with me that I think I might need and leave this place forever. So I'm debating that. I don't really overly need the random stuff here and the food. Most of this I'll find all over the place. Oh yeah, let's take all of the ammo just in case I have to pull out that 9mm. So if I were to relocate, there was nothing in there. We can get that stuff anywhere. Get that stuff mostly anywhere, but we'll take that one. We take the real hammer. I find screwdrivers quite often. I'm still not sure if they're required for anything. I don't remember saying, oh, I need a screwdriver for that. I'm trying to remember, did we leave anything useful in here? think I'm just going to take things north, and we'll set up in the north. Gun parts, we'll take that. Nothing in here. Yeah, I think we'll just take what we got. We'll find other vehicles we can get working. Might take the starter. That's the only thing in there that it is possibly going to be hard to come across. Alright, we do have a weight limit. Being overweight does have consequences. 36.5 kilograms, something like that. So we're at 14.6, so that's not tremendously heavy. 2.5. The battery is the really bad one. The battery's like 15 kilograms or something all by itself. Alright, we'll see if we grab a last few things here. Otherwise, I think I'm just going to leave. Guess we'll take the water. We'll just drink this right now. Lots of spelling errors. Lots of spelling errors. And we'll take the stack of those. I think that's all I care about. The rest of this I'm not too concerned with. Okay, we're going to leave this place behind. The last thing I'll mention is, should you decide to make a base here, you have these little rock formations. When I get close enough, it has a little pickaxe symbol. So, I don't unfortunately have binoculars. Binoculars let you zoom out your view so you can see more of the terrain at once. But this is a mineable resource. So is this. And there's two other ones. There's one there, and I forget where the other one is at. But those four basically give you the initial amount and materials you need to set up gunpowder and ammunition production. So there's like zinc and charcoal and copper. There's 4 different materials, but you can mine those. And I think they're depletable, so I think you have to find more later. But that's what those are for. So there is some limited mining, harvesting resources, that kind of thing. We can also knock down bushes for sticks and fiber and chop down trees and things like that. And that's what you'll see most of these items require. So scrap metal, wood and nails, car battery, sheet metal, cement, etc. So, all right, let's get moving. We've already lost too much of the day. Too much of me yakking. So these are the bushes you can harvest for fiber and sticks. And then trees, of course, you can knock down. Let's get our long piece of wood out. This will be our main zombie stomper. I really missed the binocs, so I hope we find some soon. Those are like my #1 item. Another can of peas. What you got in there? The funnel and a crossbow bolt, huh? Crossbow bolt times 12. So we're very quick. We've already hit our limit. This is what I mean by super stingy inventory. Anything else I want to pick up? I got to drop something. And we're going to run into that real soon. How'd you compare this to Project Zomboid? I wouldn't. I hesitate to do so. One, because I don't remember Project Zomboid well enough to make valid comparisons. Other than the isometric viewpoint and the subject matter, they're different games. They go about things differently. Plus, one has been in development for a decade, and the other one's been in development for, God, I don't know, a week, a month, a year. I don't know how long they've been working on this. So there's a compass. We can stack that. Can we stack the peas? We can stack the peas, and we'll leave that. I don't worry or need the compass, so yeah, this is like 3 days into early access versus 10 years of Project Zomboid development. So, I mean, if you're wanting to plop down money and have a game to play, go for Project Zomboid. I mean, it's much more closer to a completed project and has tons more content. So, beyond that, the only real comparisons I can make is I can say definitively I like the movement and character facing system in this a lot more than Zomboid. It just feels more responsive and more fluid and so on. But it's also much simpler. There's no facing for zombie detection. I can see 360 degrees around me at all times. I can see zombies on the other side of buildings. So there's no line of sight system or facing system. So it feels smoother and it's easier to maneuver, but it's also way simpler. So if you're thinking on whether to buy it or not, that's kind of why I'm making this video. Try to give people a good feel for the gameplay and deciding whether they want to opt in or not. It's very early. I will say it has a long way to go. A lot of rough edges need polishing. A lot of content needs added. A lot of variety needs to be added and so on. So let's go ahead and try to pop in here. I think the door will be locked on this one. Yeah, door's locked. I don't think I'm going to be coming back here. I'm just going to smash a window for this one. More dog food. Yeah, we're at 79. Let's go ahead and... Oh, it's going to take away my hydration? Ah, that's fine. I'll have some yummy dog food. Find me some binocs. Oh, we got a hat. Gotta wear the hat. I'm not worried about the apple. Currently, all the buildings are single floor only. You'll see every single stairwell is blocked up, so you can't go anywhere. And this is like the other house design. There's so few designs for the houses. You'll get sick and tired of seeing the same couple of houses over and over and over again. Don't need any of that. All doors are openable from the inside. They all unlock from the inside. Come on, something useful. Another machete and a gear. What's your condition? 67 versus 43. All right, let's take the 67. We'll leave the 43. Don't care. All right, that's it for this little spot. Let's head north again. Oh, we got our first zombie. Hey, first zombie. The runner. Alright, there's kill number 1. Can't do anything with the tractor. Let's zoom in a bit. So, you want to aim for the head. Melee is a little tougher to get the aim right. With ranged fire, though, if you put the little cursor right on their head when you pull the trigger, generally their head explodes with just about everything that I fired at them. So accuracy is important. You want to put the cursor right on it. What I usually do is try to get aligned north-south, just because for some reason for me it's easier. And then I put the cursor ahead of them and I let them walk into it, and then I click the mouse to pull the trigger. And that seems to work really well for getting consistent headshots. The consequence of combat is durability loss. They call it quality for some reason, but it's actually durability. It's probably more familiar to most players of this genre, in English at least. So that nail wood weapon is quality 62%. It's going to degrade as I use it and eventually be useless and have to be abandoned. So take a look at the items you're using and be aware that they're going to degrade. Things can be repaired with various items. Gunsmith or gun repair kit for ranged weapons, and I think it's duct tape just for basic melee weapons and stuff. And I'm still unclear why food items have a quality or durability setting, because they seem to just give a persistent amount of food or hydration, period, regardless, but they've got quality values. Oh yeah, I wanted to go... Oops. I wanted to go this way. Dex cough medicine, huh? What would I give up for some cough medicine? Oh, zombies coming. More zombies. Right, get me out of the house. Come on. What the hell? Is that a survivor firing a gun? Because I don't have a gun. You done? Sometimes they'll drop bags you can loot. I don't know if that was a gunshot I heard or something hitting a door or a window or something. Oh, they broke the door open. That's what happened. Alright. I'm not gonna worry about the cold right now. So if your temperature gets cold, you actually have a chance of catching a cold, which is, you know, kind of silly, but rags are used for crafting items as well as minor heal items. It's like 15 hit points. We're down hydration. Let's have I'm not gonna clear a slot with that. I guess we'll have the energy drink. Tuna, jar of jam, and some milk. Well, that'll take care of the problem. 95 and 99. Cool. We'll just leave those. Getting dark. That is it for this house. Okay, so we got that little house there. Then we got the barn. Oh, you got close enough to hit me, you bum. There goes his head. So we're at 86 health now after that hit. I'm going to go ahead and use the rag to treat the wound. That should take us up to 100. You can loot rags. You can also disassemble torn clothing. Oh, by the way, while you're in crafting menus and such, game is not paused. You do that while you got enemies nearby and you're going to get hit. Ah, again. Swing a little earlier. My timing's off. No loot. No loot. I was trying to say, right here, we can craft out of fibers and we can craft out of ruined clothing. There's loot. What do we get? We got a chocolate bar. Sure, I'll take your chocolate bar. My experience so far, usually zombies are summoned in small groups of like 5 or 6. So I wouldn't be surprised if we bump into a few more here. Yeah, pretty dark. I don't remember ever seeing a single item in any of the barns I've been in, which is, you know, not a huge number. Alright, let's go that way to whatever building is over there. That one. Hey, look at that. Ooh, baseball bat. Definitely take the baseball bat. The rag we'll just use right now to go ahead and get back up to 100. How about that? Does that help any? I'm not a big fan of the flashlight. But, you know, I'll turn it on just so Ardent can see. Gotta make accommodations for old people. Like me. Alright. More hydration. I need to find a better backpack. I'm looking for that adventurer's backpack that has like 20 slots. A lockpick. Alright, let's go ahead and have the chocolate bar. As far as I know, light does not attract them. Sound is supposed to have some effect, and line of sight does, so if they turn your back to you, I have been able to sneak up closer than if they're facing me. And supposedly, when you get a cold, the primary consequence seems to be that you cough regularly, which is a sound indicator that they can follow. I don't know if it generates them, or if it just makes ones that are already generated near you more likely to notice and come towards you. I'm a little fuzzy on that part of the mechanics. I love how I have to spin the camera around in every room to see if I've gotten everything. A gold deagle. I don't want a gold deagle 50 cal. We'll just leave that here. Any more yummy, yummy toilet water? Nope, no more toilet water. We will take painkillers. Painkillers are a healing item. I think only 10, but they have secondary uses for... Oh, that's right. We're out of slots again. I keep having to look at the slots. I guess we're going to get rid of a food item. Goodbye, peanut butter. We will waste the yummy, yummy peanut butter. Nah, I don't think there's any kind of a smell mechanic. Alright, I think that's it. Sure would like to take the water. Tell you what, let's trade clean water for dirty water. Actually, let's get rid of that too. Like the sun's coming back up, or the moon's coming out, one or the other. I'm not sure which. We want to store anything here at a midpoint. So my goal is this next little place here. There's a little storage shed with 3 areas back here that's got a lot of gear in it. I want to go there and possibly set up my base there. I've only been a little bit further up the map. Well, we went a fair ways last run, but I got to start setting up something somewhere. And this one's got a little bit of resources, and I'm somewhat familiar with it. So that's where I'll pick my first potential spot, depending on what we find. If we find nothing, then I'll just keep running until we find something better. How big is the map? Map is this big. That's the entire map. The fixed map. Things that are randomized are going to be items in the locations. It works on like a loot table system, just like Cataclysm, where if you open a cupboard, there are certain things that can be in a cupboard, and it just rolls dice and picks certain quantities of certain items to populate within that. But otherwise, the geography is always the same. As far as I know, you can't really affect the existing geography. I can't, like, knock down walls and buildings and stuff like that. Okay, so we're gonna go that away. Yep. Do I like it so far? Sensitive subject. It's got decent starts conditions for a game, but I'm not convinced there's a lot of game in the game yet. So it has stuff, but it doesn't feel like it gels real well. And I don't know that there's any long-term goal. You pretty much have access to everything immediately. You'll see what I mean here in a minute when we get up to this little storage shed, but I don't know what the driving compulsion for the player is, other than just staying alive, which is not terribly difficult to do. But granted, I have not played more than 3 or 4 days gameplay into any particular run yet. That's pretty nice. Stackable. I like stackable. I want certain objects that I can stack. Matches, lockpicks, painkillers, purification tabs. Oh, we have a bottle and we have loose. All right, let's fix that. Let's open the bottle. Gee, did we not get any more painkillers out of opening that bottle? What the heck? That's weird. I don't think we actually got anything, because we had one painkiller there, and that should stack them. Nah, you actually can't name the character. There's no naming option. Even for multiplayer, you can't name him. You can make him look different, but you can't actually name him. Like I said, a few days into early access, it's got a lot of rough patches. I can make allowances for quite a few things, but I will not make allowances for the fishing system. That system can just go straight to hell. The lockpick system is really generic and straight out of about a dozen other games, so probably... Whoa! Broke my weapon. Got a hit on me. The lockpick system is serviceable, but feels like something bought in an asset store and just welded in. Same for the fishing game, but the fishing game is just so rage-inducing for me personally. I don't know whether to aim the cursor at their head or just in the direction of their head. Hey, I yeeted some zombies! Yeet count is now 2. Alright, so we got a good looking vehicle. So no parts, but really good condition and decent amount of starting fuel. So nice. How much storage you got? That's pretty good. Alright, so that might be a vehicle we want to get up and running. There's a 1911 firing 45. So now the problem is I got no slots to carry anything. These are full. We'll put that there. We'll have to leave those. I need to get to the storage area so I can at least get some storage done. It's these two buildings right here that I'm kind of aiming for. So, let's get over there first before we do anything else. Man, I wish I could zoom out with the binocs. Okay. That's too many. I need somebody to be faster than somebody else. What are we up to? 3, 4, 5, and I think I saw a shadow of a 6th. Tell you what, let's do the discretion, better part of valor thing. Mushrooms? I didn't know we had mushrooms. We'll just kind of run around. And I'll hop a fence and we'll lose them. That's quite a few zombies. They will go around fencing, but they're going to lose track of me fairly quickly. So this is the building I want, I think. No, this is not the building I want. Gas can, we'll come back for that. There's a pickaxe. We'll come back for all that stuff. Hey, Jeep. Oh, drivable Jeep, huh? Hey, look at that. We already have a starter, but there's the fuel pump. Whoops. I really wander right back into you guys. Alright, I think I know where I am now. Let's lead this zombie train away. No runners in this group, so pretty easy to keep ahead of them. You can only sprint in the direction you're facing, by the way. So if I'm facing one way, but moving another, and I try to sprint, it won't do it, like right now. You have to face the direction you're wanting to travel in order to do sprint mode. Alright, let's see if that was far enough out to get them to lose track of me. Ooh, gotta let my stamina recover. Can I come up behind him and beat him to death without him noticing? Nope. No, this has no connection to Project Zomboid. Alright, where is the building I'm looking for? I thought it was right up here. I keep getting the same group of zombies following me, and I keep coming back to the same wrong spot. My brain and my map memory are confused. I want to mark where that Jeep is, too. Can't do it while I'm being pursued. Alright, front of the town area here. Aha! That's where it's at, finally. It's further back to the north and west than I thought. I thought it was these, but it was right here where I'm at now. So these are the storage areas I'm talking about. So we'll use the van as a temporary. We got a fuel can with some amount of fuel in it. Tarp. You can hold on to my batteries, my parts. I want to clear out as much inventory as I can. What are we at? 68 and 46 on hydration. Alright, let's take 2 of those. Now we can pick up other stuff while we run around. I'm going to bash these doors open here shortly. I'd like to do it with like a crowbar or a sledgehammer or something if we can find one. Instead of my bat. What's the condition on that? 41. Don't need... Yeah, don't need you. I think we'll end up looting enough of this stuff. Okay, so we'll break into those shortly. We got a trash vehicle that we can loot or smash apart for components. Crossbow bolts again. Hope I find the crossbow. I really liked the crossbow. Another one we can break apart because it's non-lootable. We'll use the magic of diagonal vision to see where the zombie's at. Alright. Time to give me good stuff. There's an axe, that'll help, and a hatchet. I think I'll just take the axe. More gun parts. Some poopy. Oh, I'm sorry. Some rope. Don't need a beanie, thanks. And that is it. So I need to figure out where I'm going to set up a base. I think I'm going to just do it right out here. I just want a wide open area that I can set up all the crafting stations and some storage boxes. I don't believe weather affects any of that kind of stuff. I will need some place nearby that I can use for cover from, I don't know, storms or inclement weather or something. And we do have in our crafting section base defense stuff. So there's like a floor. Hammer needed to build floor, barbed wire defenses, stakes, walls. This is the kind of stuff I want to kind of investigate. I want to figure out some of the, get this stuff built, and then see if there's actually a use or a need for this kind of stuff. I'm not aware that there's any kind of like a Horde Night mechanic or anything. There will occasionally be zombies that get summoned nearby that come towards you. There's also survivors that'll show up and try to kill you and take your stuff. Small shelter. All it says is a small shelter. I guess that gives you cover from rainfall and such. Maybe you could put a campfire inside under there. Logs, wood, nails, and sheet metal. Yeah, that'll take a bit. And I don't know if it requires like a flooring to put any of this stuff down, or if I can just build it right on the concrete here. So we'll have to see. The other issue, I guess, is that, to my understanding, once you build something, you can't move it, and the only way to like adjust things is to smash it apart with a sledgehammer and then rebuild it where you actually want it. So, you know, build things where you want them the first time, but it's going to be rough in this experimentation phase to get things where I want them. So, yeah. That's the plan, anyway. One day survived. Must be early morning of the next day. Alright, let's get rid of some raw material. We've already almost filled up the van. Okay, now let's go this way first. I don't know how long the zombies persist either. Some cereal, some pork and beans. Lots more food items. Kind of surprised we haven't found a better backpack yet. Usually I find like the adventure backpack fairly early. Hello. Whoa. My mouse went out of my play area. Attacking me in his tighty whities. It's gonna be more zombies. Another baseball bat? Sure. Okay, so this way is back to my little base area. Sort of. Ducky tape.